All right, so here I have a little activity that really seem to help students understand how join statements work. So I cut this out and I'm going to provide a copy of this that you can also print and you can also cut out using scissors. But here, hopefully you can see this clearly. I adjusted some of my camera settings so that you can see this more. But I basically have 9 records in the business table demonstrated over here. So I have businesses, record ID 1, and there is a business name, and then there is a city ID. And there's another record, businesses number 2, the name is Greg Cycling Shop, and it's in the city ID of 5. And so forth. So you may want to make this into a high resolution so the font can be more readable. I also have another table called cities table. In the cities table, I'm showing 7 records here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this one has a field called, in the cities table, there's an ID, city, and the state ID. So, and then the values are cities 1, ID 1, city name Fairhope, state ID 3. And then I got 5 records in the states table illustrated by these paper record. So this one, again, if you are not familiar with SQL, you may really want to print it out and cut it. It's going to take you maybe a few minutes, but it's a good, enjoyable activity. And I think you will really understand what I'm trying to teach. So imagine these are the records. I have businesses, I have the cities, I have the states. But I want to have SQL display next to each of the business name what the city name is and what the state name is. So imagine that's what you were needed to do, that I cut this out for you, that you have these in front of you, and you need to somehow have it display the business name, the city name, and the state name all right next to each other. How would you do that? Okay, how would you do that? How would you put together these records so that the city name and the state name appears right next to the business name? Okay, well, if I gave this to you, or if you printed this out, I guarantee what you would have done is probably, well, I guess I guarantee it, so it's probably going to be something like this. You would have done, okay, this record has a city's ID of 1, and you would have said, okay, this one over here, the ABC hardware, that has a CD ID 1, so you probably did this. So you probably had it go like this, and I'll scroll some of this down below. That's probably what you did. And then states ID 3, so you probably got this record over here, states ID 3, and you probably had it go, have it overlap like this. So now you can see that ABC hardware is in Fairhope, Alabama, right? That's what you did intuitively. Let's do another one. So if you were to look at, how about Joe's ice cream shop? If you look at Joe's ice cream shop over here, which city is that in? City ID 2. Well, this has an ID of 2 in the cities table. So again, what you probably did is you join these 2 records starting from the left, right? Because you got all the records from the left first. You got the record from the left and you joined it. And then you join the records like that, right? And then states ID 1. So then you probably would have pulled this, the Arizona record, and then you would have joined it like this. So now, once it is joined, it will say, let me get this a little bit better. Joey's Ice Cream Shop, Winslow, Arizona. Let's just do one more. How about Arby's? Arby's is in city ID 3 over here. So you would have done this. You would have gotten this one probably, right? City's ID 3 here. And again, you would have joined like that. Anyway, so let's kind of go back to this. So let's kind of put these other paper away. But let's go back into this one. So what did you do? Why did you join the records that way? Well, it made intuitive sense, right? What makes intuitive sense to us, we got to be explicit to the SQL database how to join these records. And if you tell them to join records a little bit weird, you may see some very weird behavior. But let's pull this out. Let's just look at one at a time. So this one, okay. Notice again, what you did was you looked at the city's ID and you basically just join this one with that one, okay. Let's write what the SQL syntax for that is, okay. So what I did is I first got all the records from the businesses table, right? So you do select, and let's kind of leave that out. Initially, I can just do star and have it display all the fields from which tables? Businesses. Okay. And then what I can do is I can do left join. Okay. And there's a difference between left join, inner join, right join. I'll provide some links, but for right now, just do left join on all of them. And you'll be fine. And later you will understand some of the little differences. But for now, let's just have you get familiar with left join. So select start from businesses, and then I'm going to join. Which table am I going to join? I'm going to join the cities record, right? Over here. So I'm going to say left join cities. But on what? How am I supposed to join the records? Well, so you got to specify on the businesses table, what was the field that we were joining? City underscore ID. City underscore ID. Okay, join that with, which field were we joining with? Cities.id. Okay, that basically tells SQL, hey, that's how you need to join the records. The businesses.cityid here and the cities.id, that's how you join. Okay, so again, if you're ever confused on how to do the join statements, strongly recommend you print out that PDF, cut it, physically do the join activities, and you will understand how to structure these join statements. Now, does it matter that you do businesses.cityid first or have this appear here and have it, flip in its position? It doesn't matter. You can have it be cities.id equal to businesses.city underscore ID and would do exactly the same thing. So anyway, I hope this visual activity just helped you understand how join works. Notice how I got all the records on the left side first and then I joined on the right side, right? That's left join, right? If I get all the records from the left table and then join, that's left join. If I get all the records on the right table, on this case, for example, the cities, and then start joining on the left side, that's called right join. If I only join when there are, so anyway, I'll provide some link. I don't want to confuse you when you learn this important join concept. But anyway, have this in mind, visualize this, and I hope this visual illustration was helpful on how to structure the join statements.